Are you sick and tired of hearing everybody around you tell you how wonderful retrohaling is on these videos, and you see them blowing smoke through their nose like a dragon, and you still just can't figure it out? No matter what you do, you have to inhale it into your lungs and blow it out your nose, or swallow it and still get it in like the back of your throat or down into your lungs, and then blow it out your nose. And you want to figure out, how the heck are these guys taking smoke into their mouth and blowing it out their nose? I may have a solution that may work for you, so stay tuned if you want to see my method for retrohaling.
For Pete's sake, have a cigar.
What is up, YouTube? This is Pete Strominger with For Pete's Sake Have a Cigar, and I wanted to share some valuable information with you on my method on how to retrohale. So I'm going to jump right into it. So really, retrohaling is what you just saw. It's where you take cigar smoke into your mouth just like you always would, and instead of just blowing it back out of your mouth, you get your nasal cavities involved. There's all the little sensory cells in your nose that's how you taste things, that's how you smell things. And if you want to really ramp up your cigar experience, I would highly recommend to learn how to retrohale. It's not that visible on camera, but you can definitely feel it when you do it right. So I'm going to start with, there's basically three stages. There's the beginner, the intermediate, and then if you want to call it the expert, it's not really an expert, it's just the advanced, I'll call it, retrohale. So starting off with the beginning, easiest way to describe it, some people have said just put the tongue in the back of your mouth or on the roof of your mouth after you have the smoke in your mouth, and then just breathe it through your nose. Well, to me, it's not as simple as that. You need to train your muscles to relax back here, because a lot of us don't want cigar smoke in our lungs, so we're really tense, and we get in our mouth and we blow it right back out, and we can taste a little bit, but to me, there's a lot more than that, especially with a true good retrohale. So starting off with a simple exercise, you can try to learn how to retrohale. So all you do is you put your teeth together, you blow your cheeks out, and then you start to blow your exhale through your nose. You squeeze your cheeks gently, and you should feel the air in your mouth decrease and just go out through your nose. And it's a funny feeling. It's not going to be super noticeable. It's going to be very subtle. So here's what it looks like. And you want to keep your cheeks and your throat relaxed when you do this. So when you do that exercise, blow your cheeks up, keep your teeth together, and then it's almost like you tighten up your cheeks right here. So it's almost like you're like using mouthwash in a way, maybe a little bit different. And then as you do that, all you do is push on your cheeks, and you should feel that air go out of your mouth and then through your nose. So do that exercise over and over until you don't need to push on your cheeks anymore. You should just be able to sit here and blow your cheeks up gently, nothing that big, and then get it to go out through your nose as you exhale through your nose. That's what it should look like. It's very subtle. It's very relaxed. It's not anything that's super tense. If you find that you can't get your air to get out of your mouth, relax your nose, relax your cheeks, relax your throat, and just let it happen. If the cheek method doesn't work for you, like the squeezing of your cheeks, one more method, it's kind of weird and maybe unorthodox to some, but so like when you taste food, you chew and you're kind of breathing out through your nose, and or like if you have a good coffee drink, you're kind of chewing it in with air. You can do that with cigar smoke too. And so when you do this, take the cigar smoke in your mouth and then act like you're gently chewing. It's going to sound kind of gross, so sorry for this. Just relax everything, take the smoke in your mouth, chew, and exhale through your nose. It's a way to relax, and if you do it right, you exhaling is going to protect your lungs. It's not going to go into your lungs. It's going to be a weird feeling because the smoke is going to start to go back, but then it just starts to come up your nose. And then once you've had enough, you just blow out through your nose and your mouth. It clears everything out, and you can start again. And that gets your muscles trained to not be so restrictive, and you can try the retrohale then. This is another cool little trick that you can try to start that muscle memory for retrohaling. If the idea of cigar smoke in your lungs really freaks you out, I would say, and maybe you're okay with like vapor because it's very neutral, maybe try practicing on some vapor first and then move on to cigar smoke. And so after you've done the beginner exercises, we move on to the intermediate, which is trying it with smoke. So then take some smoke in your mouth, just do a little bit at a time, do a very small draw, and just practice getting it to go out through your nose. And I find too, it's like a two-step process. So you take the smoke into your mouth, so you have your cheeks are puffed up, the smoke's in your mouth. Your cheeks go down first, and you feel the smoke go kind of in the back of your throat, but it doesn't go down to your lungs. It goes up and out. And that's kind of what you want to visualize as you're doing this. So first you do that, get it in the back of your throat, and then you blow out through your nose, and the smoke comes out. So it looks like this. It's like getting very close to swallowing the smoke, but not actually swallowing it. Because if you swallow it, it kind of gets down in your lungs, kind of doesn't. I think the first time I ever truly found out what retrohaling was all about was I actually did swallow some cigar smoke, and it was kind of nasty that way. And then I actually learned how to do it the right way, and then I was like, wow, the cigar flavors are all there. It's this wonderful kind of, not musty, but aged tobacco smell in your mouth, and it's just wonderful. It's a new way to experience cigars, and I was so excited. So try the intermediate, get the basic process going of getting smoke to come out through your nose, and then move on to what I call the expert. After you've been doing just the plain retrohale and retrohale and retrohale for a while, move on to the expert one. And this is what I mean by expert. It is experimenting with the intensity of your cigars, the flavors. If you blow your first retrohale out and it is super harsh, pepper, spice, zing, and you just want to sneeze and your nose is watering, what I like to do is blow a little cigar smoke out through my mouth and then the remaining out through my nose, and you get the perfect balance in your nose to where you can taste the flavors. Because if the spice is too much, you're going to just get spice and no other flavors of the cigar, which that's really what it's all about. It's about those flavors and not just the harsh spice. So here's what that looks like. It's kind of blowing out first, and then when you know it's just about to end, you retrohale the rest, and you get this nice, gentle taste of what everything is in the cigar. And the spices, for some reason, is in the first part of the smoke that you blow out, and then just having that less concentrated cigar smoke in your mouth. When that comes out, it is super good. Even though you really can't see it that well, I'm blowing out maybe 3/4 of the smoke, and then the rest comes out. And to me, that is the way I use every time when I retrohale. If it's a very smooth cigar like an Isla del Sol, a Java, stuff that has no pepper, no spice, you can do a full retrohale through the nose and get tons of flavor. It's like a flavor bomb in your nose. But I really don't, that's not my go-to way of doing it. I love doing it the half and half, the advanced way, if you will. So please give this a try. Give me feedback and see if you are able to learn how to retrohale doing this. I would love to see if somebody else gets a chance to learn how to do this and see how it changes your cigar smoking experience. Comment below with what your first retrohale experience was like, or if this worked for you. I would love to hear from you. And for Pete's sake, have a cigar. Retrohale away, guys. Talk to you later.
For Pete's sake, have a cigar.